Hi, I'm Rick at RickTurns, and today's video is Okay. No more silly explosion special effects. That's just dumb. What I've done, I've unloaded my trigger fingers here, so no more explosions, nothing like that. Nothing at all. Anyway, if we take a look at this slog. Okay, so I've got an ash log here, and I think I'd better turn this pretty quick into something because I'm getting some splitting here, which actually surprises me because I've got the wood really well sealed, and it's only been down for a month and a half or so, maybe 2 months. Got a split coming in right there. And over on this side, there's a split coming in right here. So I need to get this guy turned as quickly as possible. Alrighty, got my chainsaw here. Like I say, I'm going to try and get a straight cut right down here so that I can apply or put it on a faceplate. So here we go. I'm just going to center this by eye, right about there, I think. And that is an impact wrench. Okay, looks about right there. And so it goes. All right, faceplate mounted. Here we go. And wow. So that's not going to work real well. Well, chainsaw couldn't get a straight cut, bandsaw couldn't get a straight cut, so I'm going to put it between centers and turn a straight surface on the end. That's almost 600. Let's start with bowl gouge here. Okay, get this little nub off. And there we have it, good. Now back with the faceplate again. Just gonna drive in some screws here, just like I did before. They still got wax on them. Now I think I'm ready to turn. And bring up the tailstock now. That's 550. I'm going to leave it there at the moment. This is a 600 grit CBN honing plate. All right, I've got our steady rest in place here. This is the Carter multi-rest. And so now I'm going to continue hollowing this out. Attempt number 2 ends in abject failure. You saw how attempt number 1 ended, flying off of the lathe. My fault. This time though, number 2 here, I don't think it was my fault. We'll take a look right in here. This was a crotch piece. And from the outside, you could barely tell it was a crotch piece. If you looked at the end grain, you could see the two piths coming apart there. But there was no splitting or anything showing on the outside. As I turned it down into the right shape here, well, that crotch split right through the middle. And there we have it. And you can see it wasn't grown together at all in this area of the crotch where I was turning. Like I say, didn't show from the outside at all. It looked like a very solid piece of wood. So, attempt number 3 coming up. Third time's a charm. It better be. Not sure if I got the patience to go for number 4. All right, new piece of wood after 2 disasters. Turned this one down to the same place I was when I screwed up the very first one and the very second one for that matter. And so now I'm going to commence hollowing. I'm going to do a little bit of hollowing while I've still got it connected right here to the tailstock. But pretty quick, I'm going to have to remove that because there's just not enough room to work with that piece in there. And then I will switch to a steady rest. Well, as you might be able to tell, I'm constantly losing bevel contact here, and the gouge is jumping all around. So I'm going to put on a steady rest. This is a new addition to my workshop, Carter Multi-Rest. And this is pretty nice, and I will probably do a video review on it at some point because it is pretty slick. Now let me pull these back. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, that was a colossal mistake. Okay, number 4 is coming up. If I got even another piece of wood. I got one more piece of wood I can use. Yeah, when I tried to scrape down here without having the support right there, it just split this all to pieces because it was pretty thin. It split to the point where sawdust and glue aren't gonna keep it from showing. It looks pretty bad. Okay, so maybe get the feeling I'm learning how to do this as I go along. I don't do many of these. 4th time is the charm. This is the 4th attempt. This one is going much better. I haven't made any stupid mistakes yet. This is a different species of wood. I think this is, I don't know. I think this is probably maple. The person I got the wood from said he was giving me ash and oak, but I don't think this is either ash, and I'm sure it's not oak. So anyway, and I'm going to start off here with about a 1/2 inch scraper. These sides up here are good. I'm not going to touch them again. A little bit of roughness there, but it's not a big deal. And I think I need to drop this down just a wee bit. All right, everything's good. Yep. 900 RPM. Okay, tried various hollowing tools. I couldn't get it to go any deeper, but I can do it with a drill. Got the drill set, and I'm going to go about 1 inch deeper, and that's all, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, first drill bit I used was a 1/2 inch, then I went to a 1 inch. Let's see if it's deep enough now. That's bottom on the inside. Take a look at it on the outside. Okay, that's good. I've got 1 inch of solid wood right at the bottom there. And now to finish my hollowing with my special made hollowing tool here. It's about the only one I've got that'll really get down in there and do any cutting. I'm running at about 900 RPM. It is not easy hollowing all the way down in there. Got another homemade tool. This is my long and very, very strong scraper. High-speed steel right here. Brazed onto regular steel right here. Poof, I declare thee hollowed. Now for everybody's fun part, sanding. That's about 500. Because I didn't get a very good surface in here at all, I'm going to be using 100 grit to start with. So now I need to sand the outside of this. And yeah, for that I can start with 180, I think. And I'm going to sand down probably to about, I don't know, 600. Still running at about 500. And here we go. And the sanding is all done, thank goodness. Okay, sanded down to about 800 grit on the outside, but only 400 grit on the inside. I imagine both of them are going to look pretty much the same. Now I'm going to And now I'm just going to blow off the dust. And I'm just going to give it a quick wipe with a tack cloth here. I think the air compressor there would probably have gotten rid of it all. But just in case, get as much dust off as I can. There we go. And now, I'm going to be using walnut oil. And mainly because I'm going to put on a varnish finish, but it's a water-based varnish. Water-based varnishes don't darken the wood, and I like the wood to be darkened a little bit. So, going to be using this walnut oil as a first coat. All right, it's been a couple hours here. Let that walnut oil really soak in. I'm going to be using this Minwax Wipe-On Poly Clear Gloss this time instead of a spray, and see how this one does. And it takes a number of coats to build up. But the real advantage of it is it dries really fast. I've got about, I think it's probably about 6 coats of the Wipe-On varnish here. And it has shined up very nicely. So, last thing to do is part it off and do a little sanding on the bottom, I think, and then this guy is finished. Let me tell you, this bowl has been a long time coming. It's taken me probably as much as a month to get this done. And I've gone through 4 logs that are this size. Can't keep a good screw up down, I'll tell you that. It turned out fairly well. The 4th iteration turned out fairly well.